And there we are. Hello and welcome everybody to this week's show. Lots of things to talk about as always, but first I just want to say hello to you. Thanks for watching, and do us a favor and check us out on all our social medias you see there on the Video Show Network. We are everywhere, of course, on Twitter, Facebook. Visit our website, tvsn.ca as well. There's a lot of things going on there that you don't necessarily see on the Facebook page. And we're on Twitch. Yes, do you know what Twitch is? It's a gaming platform, but it's now opened up its doors to everybody who wants to broadcast, kind of like the Facebook and YouTube thing. So check us out there as well. And we're kind of on Snapchat. I don't know. I haven't really decided about Snapchat yet. They keep changing things around too often for me. And of course, we're on Instagram. Hello, everybody. I'm David Burrows, and welcome to the show live. Our next episode, episode 10 of the show live. I have to tell you, it's much different going live for a full hour than a 10-minute recorded show like I used to. We did 330 episodes of the show recorded. But this gives us an opportunity to reach out beyond borders, so to speak. While the show is mostly about what's happening here in Sarnia-Lambton, I am going to be reaching out to other communities, because I believe that live streaming can connect other communities around the world. And I think we could learn a lot from each other by doing that. So if you're watching this and you're not in Sarnia-Lambton, but you're watching and you've got something you'd like to share that's positive about the community that you're in, I'd love to hear from you. Just some recapping. It was a busy weekend, I got to tell you. But the first thing we got to say is happy birthday, Sarnia. Did you know that Sarnia is 104 years old today? That's right. It's hard to believe it was 4 years ago that we celebrated our 100th birthday in Sarnia in a big downtown New Year's Eve celebration. And I was the MC that year. And yeah, wow, the time really flies. So happy birthday, Sarnia, 104 years old. So in the year 1914, I had to write it down so I didn't forget. 1914 was when the city of Sarnia was born, I guess is how you put it. So if you're a long-term resident of Sarnia, or even if you're just in Sarnia for a month or two, that's okay. You're a part of Sarnia now, right? So happy birthday, Sarnia. This past weekend, for me anyway, it started on Thursday night as the Sarnia Sings, the second annual, or volume 2, as it was called, Sarnia Sings. My friend Adam Dumond began this last year and invited me in to be a part of it, and I was super thrilled to be a part of Sarnia Sings last year and then again this year. And I have to tell you, jaw-dropping performances. We had some young folks in there, ages 7 and 10 and in that range, and it was just wow. Of course, it was an emotional night as well because it was supporting mental health awareness and suicide prevention. And so there were some emotional moments in there as well, important emotional moments. But I'm really proud to say it was sold out. All 610 seats sold out at the Imperial Theater here in Sarnia. That truly was fantastic to see. And pardon me, I'm looking at my phone. So there you go. Sarnia Sings, pretty awesome. All right. What's next here? Oh, yes, the Pacers. They didn't do so well again. 11-4. And I got to tell you, they start things off, and they were doing okay, and then they kind of fell apart again. But the Pacers were fighting hard to the end, I got to tell you. They just haven't gotten a win yet. They're not having much luck with that. And unfortunately, yeah, they're going to see what's going to have to happen. They're going to have to change some things around, right? But it is exciting, and we're proud to be there. All the home game coverage, we broadcast it live, the whole games on the Video Show Network. So you can check that out there, tvsn.ca, and it's on Twitch, and it's on YouTube, etc. The next game coming up is going to be this Saturday, happening at 7 o'clock. The Pacers will take on the London Blue Devils. So get down there and watch it in person, or if you can't make it down there, you'll be able to watch it on our website, tvsn.ca. And then they'll be taking on the Windsor Clippers the next day on the Sunday. So back-to-back games Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully the Pacers can get a win under their belt and start participating a little more in the league, I guess. They're fourth place right now in their division, but we'll see what happens. It's not over yet. The Hoedown for Healthcare, we had Adele Stewartson on here last week talking to us about the Hoedown for Healthcare. So we were happy to have her on here talking about that. That's coming up May 11th, and the Hoedown for Healthcare supporting rural healthcare. So thanks, Adele, for that. And I got to miss it again. I haven't been able to make it yet. I'm always away. But get out there. I know Borderline's going to be there, and Cornerstone's going to be playing the music for that as well. Again, May 11th, Hoedown for Healthcare. Go to the Bluewater Health Foundation on Facebook and their website to get information and tickets for that. Coming up on May 30th, there is Judge Brigham Justice. Yes, my friend Les Jones is going to be Mr. Brigham Justice once again for the second annual virtual bail in jail. And proud to say, too, that TVSN will be there broadcasting that live with all the shenanigans that's going to be happening there, and some local arrests will be made. And we'll see how the bail in jail goes. That's coming up on May the 30th. Also, very excited about this. Bluewater BorderFest is back again, July 26, 27, and 28. It's going to be country, rock, and new rock. And there's going to be a official media announcement, pardon me, a media announcement coming on Thursday at Tourism Sarnia-Lambton, and TVSN will be there live with the band announcements for this year's Bluewater BorderFest. And also very excited to say that TVSN is one of the official media sponsors for the event, and we're going to be at Bluewater BorderFest for the entire weekend. We'll be backstage broadcasting. We'll have interviews with the bands and a few other surprises as well. And keep following our Facebook page if you want to go. We're going to have several opportunities for you to win some tickets to this year's Bluewater BorderFest and a few other surprises in there as well. Make sure you check them out online on their Instagram, very active there. And, of course, Bluewater BorderFest here on Facebook. All right, well, coming up in just a few moments, we're going to have our first guest. But before I do, I just got to take a little short break, and I will be back in just a moment. So please stay with us. Put yourself in landscape mode. All right, you ready? I'm going to bring you on. Are you ready? You got a couple of bozos. All right, here we go, guys. I'm bringing you on. All right, and we're back. Technology is a wonderful thing most of the time.
Radio is much easier.
I've heard that. Pay's not as good, though.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Aaron Zimmer and Rob Jenkins from Blackburn Radio here in Sarnia. And what's going on, guys?
We're just hanging out here on this Monday because that's what we do, is we hang out in Rob's office on Mondays.
Just hang out at Rob's office on Mondays.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to do this from our flip phone.
From your flip phone. At least you don't have a Zach Morris phone. You remember that guy?
Oh, yeah. It probably may have worked better than how we made out today.
There you go. Well, I appreciate you taking time to join me here, guys, and glad we got through it there. You guys are here to talk about Sarnia 3-on-3 hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. Coming up very soon, Saturday, June 2nd.
Yeah.
This is the 7th annual for this event. However, it's our first one because we took it over this season. So some people might recognize it. Usually it was the end of April is when they would run this event.
Yeah, okay.
But we decided let's move it to a little bit warmer weather. So we moved it to the 2nd of June, and let's put it down by the beach.
Yeah, you're doing this down at Canatara Park, right? That's where exactly are you going to be there?
In the middle parking lot.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so
we'll be taking
cool idea.
Yeah, we'll take over that whole section. Friday night we'll be setting everything up, so Saturday morning we'll be good to go.
Right. Now, this is more than hockey, though, right? I mean, there's a reason behind all of this, and the reason that you're doing that, you're supporting Rotary, and you're also supporting another ball hockey tournament, right?
Absolutely, yeah. The Stephanie Shaw Memorial Ball Hockey Tournament as well. They put their event on in July down in Canatara as well, and we contacted them and thought, how can we work together? And they said, well, how about we supply the refs for donation for our tournament? And of course we did. And yes, the Rotary will be there as well. They'll be handling the barbecue. So they'll be whipping up food for all the players. So all the players that are registered in it get complimentary barbecue lunch. And then, of course, you can purchase on top of that. So, yes, the donations for that. As well as we have a bunch of little ones that we're going to have throughout our little event. So just a bunch of different ones. Just give back to the community.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So you guys are like hockey fans, though, yourselves, right?
Go Wings.
We're both Leaf fans.
Both Leaf fans.
No, that's terrible. Wings.
Wings? Are you Wings fans, Zimmer?
Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing even to talk about it now, too. Vegas, baby!
Yeah, no kidding, eh? So this is obviously something you guys are enjoying doing, and we're able to take this on. That's exciting to have it down there in that area, too. Like, that's very public, and nice access for everybody to come around, so the public can come down and just hang out and watch, too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's open to everyone, and we would like to have as many people come down as possible, and hopefully the day is going to be nice and people can enjoy the beach and enjoy the day at the park and watch some good hockey. I think one of the other things that we're doing this year that's different is we're trying to make things as evenly matched as possible with the teams, because I know my son's played in it, I think, since the beginning, and sometimes you might get a house league team against a AAA team and it can make it a little more difficult, but we're trying to match up the different age groups and the different skill level.
And the other thing we'll have, too, is there'll be more champions because there's more divisions, as opposed to saying everybody is going to be in the Pee Wee division. It's not going to be that. It'll be the Pee Wee division will be brought down into different segments. So maybe all house leaguers, all AAA players. And so there'll be more champions. You'll have a court champion on every one, and there's 12 courts times 2 divisions, so there'll be 24 champions.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is like a big. So how many have you got? A lot of teams in already, or are you still looking for more?
Yeah, we definitely need more. We're about halfway of what we need. To fill it up, 96 teams would be perfect. And that
Oh,
would
wow.
be 8 teams per court, start nice and early at 9 o'clock in the morning, done by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everyone gets 3 games minimum, and then the teams that go on to fight for the championship will get that 4th game.
Well, okay. It must say that, but you say you're trying to match these all up. Like, that must be a difficult process to try to make that even. Like, do you know the players then, or how do you go through that?
We have the online form, so when they fill it out, there's a bunch of different boxes they click, and they tell us what their skill level is on that form. So that's the easiest way for us to handle it.
Right, so we're making sure everybody tells the truth.
Right.
Yeah. And it's fun to do it that way. I'm taking this from back in the day. I used to play in the Gus Macker 3-on-3 basketball tournaments. And that's how they got you in the courts, is you were put together with similar players of similar abilities, of similar height, to make it more interesting. And then you play on that court all day. And that's similar to what we're doing here, is when you get there, you only play on that one court, and you only play against 3 other teams, and that's it. So close competition. You don't have to find all your different courts and all this place. It's one court and go right there, and the last team standing is going to win the championship, as well as we make sure the second place is also going to get some prizes. What we've done this time is, as opposed to medallions and medals that people just throw in their drawers, we're giving T-shirts. So the first place team will have championship, and then the second place will just have the logo. And what we're going to do with that, again, a little bit different. We try to think outside the box. Is as opposed to just handing everybody the shirts, we will actually take your size, and you can pick out what color your team wants. So if you're a girls team and you want all pink, and you got 1 extra large and 1 super small, that's fine, because we're going to order the shirts there, and then 2 weeks later we're going to have you, we'll deliver them to you, or you can just pick them up at one of our works.
You guys are being really hospitable for everybody.
We are. We want you to wear the shirt. Again, we've been in so many tournaments, and our kids have been in tournaments, and my kids have medals in their drawers they're never going to look at, or they've got T-shirts that don't fit and never will. So we want to make sure that if you win the championship, you're actually going to get not only the shirt in the right size, but the color that you want. So if you want a baby blue or a black or a gray or a pink or a green, no worries, we'll accommodate you.
I want pink.
You got to win.
Yeah.
Do you have a division for a guy like me? Do you have like
yes, it's called the Elite.
The elite. Thank you,
actually, well, as I mentioned, the elite. We're actually doing another new thing this year. We're having our top division again. We took this from the Gus Macker basketball tournament, where they would have a top men's division, and you would go and see former NBA players and things like that on amazing courts. Nice. So we thought we'd try the same thing out. We're doing an elite division. So when you go and register, you can select if you want to be in that division. Not everybody's going to make it. So we want a division that's got former professionals, junior, senior, AAA players. So we can kind of highlight the court, and in between games, you can go watch the top elite players playing each other, fast pace, high energy.
And are you getting some response for that?
Yes, actually, that's what kind of got us going. Is there's a team, and they're some of them are from Sarnia, some of them are from Chatham, and they make up this one team, and they tour, and they just kick everyone's butts. So I got thinking, why don't we try to see if we can get some competition for this team? And so we're slowly getting, but what we're going to do is grand prize going to be $250 plus those amazing T-shirts.
What a great idea. It sounds you're putting so much work into this that I hope Mother Nature agrees with you that day.
As long as it doesn't snow, we're on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you talk about courts. Like, are you just using like the road that's there, or do you have special courts, or how does that work?
We'll be using the parking lot that's there, but we'll have special fencing that'll be put up that we've used in the past. So thanks to a Boer fencing locally who's really helped us out a lot with it. And we'll have, hopefully, like Aaron said, 12 different courts set up. It'll all be dependent on the amount of teams that we get in. But it'll be a nice fenced in area, and we'll have all our nice banners of all of our sponsors helping us out. It's going to look good. Yeah,
right on. Now you keep saying kids. So is this like all different ages? What are the different age groups here?
Absolutely. We've got kids as low as 6 years old already registered up to, I think 67 was the oldest I've seen on there. We want everybody in any age group.
See, Burrows kid play then, 60 up to 67.
I was waiting for that.
The seniors division. The slow moving division. Yeah. But so boys teams, girls teams, co-ed teams. And that's one thing I want to stress is I've been part of this tournament helping out when it was with the other organizations before. And the thing I see the least of is the females out there. And we want to get the female teams, because I know my personal self, as I am part of the Girls Hockey Association, is that there's amazing girl hockey players out there that can whip some of these boys' butts. Yeah. And I would love to see them come out and show off some of their skills. I think there's almost 15 girls travel hockey teams in this town. Really? And I'd love to see them all come out, and let's put them in divisions and play against each other. And that's another thing, too, that I think would be great is all the travel teams now, whether the boys or girls, have made their teams already for next season. The tryouts are done. They've made their teams. Oh, wow. This could be a great opportunity for maybe the team to get 2 teams in the tournament, and we'll be happy to play them against each other, an opportunity for them to get to know their teammates a little bit better, hang out by the beach, play some hockey. So there's different things you can do, and we'll cater to that and make sure that the players are playing their friends and having a good time. Mm-hmm.
Nice. You talk about, so what you're supporting is Rotary and the Stephanie Shaw tournament, and then you must have some sponsors helping you out. You're gonna give some shout-outs there? Yeah,
we do. I wish I had the list that's all in front of me.
Caught us off guard there, Dave.
Sorry.
But I know Marcotte, Trace over at Marcotte's helping us out a lot as the sponsor for our referees.
Okay. Apex IT Solution is definitely our biggest one. They're sponsoring the Elite Court, as well as Fenwick Hyundai. There's a lot that have jumped in. It's all on our website, Sarnia3on3.com. But running something like this is a very expensive. We didn't realize how expensive it is.
Well, I was going to say, everything you're telling me you're doing here, it's like you don't just walk out and set up a few pylons and start playing.
Oh, I
hockey.
wish that would be easy. No, the fence is not free. It's not cheap. Insurance for the event. We have medical there. We've got tents. We've got all these fees that you don't really exist. And when we started adding up, we thought, holy smokes, we could really use some help. And then we've just gone around and asked these people, and they've been part of the events in the past, and they're all great supporters of not just the community, but hockey as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sarnia's great for coming together to help support these causes, and that's fantastic. What about is there refreshments going on down there, or what else is happening?
Yes, Rotary's going to take care of all of that. So they're doing the barbecue and
yogurts. Remember Yogurts is coming?
Oh, yeah, Yogurts is going to be there. I guess they're going to have their trailer there. It's not a licensed event, so there's no alcohol down there.
Family friendly.
Yeah, family friendly. So anything else you can get down there.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. And so I've got your Facebook link up here on the broadcast right now. Can they go to the Facebook page to get the information to sign up there, or where do they do that?
It'll all just take you to the website. So it'll be Sarnia3on3.com. And you'll actually be a little confused at first as it redirects you to the K106.3 page. I see the logo back there.
Right.
They were gracious enough to allow us to use their page to post our stuff, and their IT person, Nicole, has been fantastic. She's done all the work for us. Again, just people stepping up and helping, because we did look into starting our own web page, and then they sent us a bill, and we went, because we want to give money back to the community.
Yeah.
And that's what this is all about. You know, when you look at that registration and go, oh, $165, that's expensive. Well, again, it's not cheap, and we are donating money back, and so.
Right. But have you got more than just the two of you guys putting this on? Have you got a committee of friends, or what?
There's 3 of us that have been organizing it and meeting regularly. John Hawkins, our other partner, from Apex IT. And then we just have other volunteers that'll be helping us that day.
Perfect.
That'll be integral to making that happen.
Absolutely. So. And if there's anyone else out there who feels like they want to help us out and volunteer, great opportunity for some high school kids as it's getting close to the end of their year and they're cramming in there. It's an easy 8 hours of coming to the park. And really all we need them to do is just be a person that says, hey, things are over there. This is over here. Washrooms are there. And that's really about it. Got a bottle of water for a referee if you need it.
Right. Well, that's awesome, guys. I got to move on. I'm sorry we had trouble getting you on here, but now you'll be a pro. You'll know how to do it for next time.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. And any final thoughts before we go?
Well, we should tell just the deadline to register is a week before the actual event, so that would be May 25th.
Yeah, that's Saturday. if you know your team and stuff, get it in ASAP, because yes, we only have limited space. When it hits that mark, we are done. So get on in, get signed up, get your friends together, and enjoy the day. It's down at the beach, so hopefully it'll be warm enough that you can maybe go for a dip in between, or just plan a day with the family. Set up your tent, have a barbecue, just enjoy. Go to the animal farm. There's so much stuff you can do down there, and then hockey in between it.
Well, I put it on my calendar, and if I can be there, I will, and I'll bring my camera. That's as far as I go. I'm not playing.
All right.
Rob Jenkins and Aaron Zimmer joining us here. Thanks so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Dave.
See ya.
All right, once again, Rob Jenkins from K106.3 and Aaron Zimmer joining us there for 3-on-3 hockey. You heard him talking about it. You get signed up. Go to Facebook and go to Sarnia 3-on-3, and that'll give you all the information that you need to join them there. All right, I apologize for my next guest. We're a little behind schedule here, but he is in the wings and ready to talk to us about football or soccer, whichever depends where you're from, I guess. And we're going to bring him on right now. And there is Paul Burke. Thanks for being here, Paul.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, sorry we're a little behind there. We had some technical issues there, but we just keep this live thing. We just keep moving forward, right? So
can you get me what, pink shirt and extra large?
Can I? You want a pink shirt? Yeah.
Extra large.
I think you got to play the hockey.
Oh.
Are you a hockey fan too?
No.
No.
the only Canadian who's not a hockey fan.
What's that?
I'm the only Canadian who's not a hockey fan.
Yeah, there you go. I hear you. There's a few of us around. You are a soccer fan, though.
Soccer, very much so.
Yeah, and you are. Tell everybody. You're Paul Burke. You're with the Sarnia Football Club, and
so I'm the club head coach for Sarnia FC, as we call it. Soccer, as most people call it, but I mean, it just sounds nice. The FC sounds nicer than the SC. We've been around for actually a lot of years. What it was the Bluewater Soccer Club, and the Sarnia Boys Soccer Club finally got smart and decided, instead of fighting each other for players, combined a couple years ago and formed one club. The idea is to provide the best opportunity we can for the individual player. Instead of worrying about team development, we've really switched our focus to the individual player development. It's all about what's best for the player.
And what is that? What is that exactly? What does that entail?
Well, where we started with is Canada Soccer, which is our governing body. Right. They came up with long-term player development. All sports in Canada had to go to this long-term athletic development. Sports Canada mandated it down for grassroots 12 and under. So soccer calls it long-term player development. And what it is player-centered. Everything is about the player. The coach isn't the important thing. When you and I first played sports, it was very coach-centered. Right. Coach told you what to do, how to do it, and how many times to do it.
Right.
Nowadays, what we really stress with the 12 and under age groups, the grassroots as we call it, age groups, is very player-centered. We put them in positions to make decisions. So what does that mean? People say, does that mean you just throw a ball out there? No, we play a lot of games that teach the technical stuff that we want to teach. Right. So it's a lot of games using a soccer ball. So there's lots of little ways. An example, the traditional dribbling through cones. We've all seen everybody do that. I've never seen cones on a soccer field. Right. I've played this game for a lot of years. I've never seen cones on a soccer field. So what we do now is we put them all in a grid, give them all a ball, and they have to dribble around in the area. And if their heads are not up, they bump into each other. So now they're learning well. They're learning really quick.
You'd only do that once or twice.
That's pretty well self-explanatory, right? Yeah. Then you go to them. Where's your head have to be? Oh, it has to be up. Yeah, that was pretty simple to teach. Right. So what we do is everything is based on letting them make the proper decisions. I'm not saying we don't put a little nudge here, a little nudge there. Sure. To get them where we want. But I mean, it all fits into the long-term development plan we have for players.
And I'm guessing that that's teaching some leadership skills in there as well.
I really enjoy work. I work with the men's team, the women's team, and our little guys. I really enjoy working with the little guys. When you see the smile on the little girl's face when she gets something right and she goes over to her friend and she shows her friend how to do it. That still amazes me, right? When I see that, it's like, wow, we're doing something right. When you watch the smile on both their faces as an 8-year-old shows another 8-year-old how to do it. It's like, I don't even care if it's right. It's
that's success. That's success right there, isn't all of it, isn't it?
That's how I measure success with those younger age groups. I don't worry about winning and losing. That's not relevant to this age group. Watch the smile on their face, and they take the time and they go help their teammates. They go show their teammates how to do it. Oh, you do it this way. I'm thinking, why do you need me? I just need her. I just need a couple more of her.
Yeah. Well, that means you're doing a great job, though, too. If you can create other leaders from it, that's fantastic. What are the different age groups? How high? Like, what's the oldest group? Yeah.
We go from under 4 to over 35. Over 35 is a bunch of old guys running around telling each other how good they used to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I fit in that. I fit in that group. So yeah,
that's where I would be. I played soccer when I was a boy, and yeah,
we cover all the age groups, male, female. It's inclusive, so we try not to turn anybody away. We offer programming for all levels. We start out with, say, our 4, 5, 6 and that type stuff. In our development, as you get to 7, 8, if you want a little bit more than our house league offers, we offer an academy stream.
Oh, okay.
Where you work with the club head coach and our academy, my academy coaches, extra training type thing.
Okay.
We also do just a skills academy stuff. For us, competitive doesn't start at 13, so we don't make cuts till 13.
Oh, okay.
So that 9 to 12 age group is inclusive program. The player has to belong, right? The player just can't go, hey, I want to play that level, but I've never played before. It has to fit for everybody.
Sure.
But we don't identify talent until much later. I'm not good enough to do it. The experts aren't good enough to do it. Anybody that says they can look at an 8-year-old and identify that he or she's going to be really good is at best delusional. It just can't be done, right? I mean, there's too many factors that go into it.
Right. What about money? I mean, makes everything work usually, right?
Money drives everything. So
where does that come from for the club?
So the majority of our money comes from sponsorship, from registration of our players.
Okay.
So our development, we've got some really good sponsors that develop or sponsor entire age groups, individual teams. On our competitive side, obviously that's more expensive because you're dealing with the higher level league and all that stuff. Our 2 primary sponsors there are Sarnia Cabinets. They do our 9 to 12, and the Carpenters Union does from 13 all the way up to including our 2 senior teams. So it doesn't cost all the stuff, but I mean it helps. It helps a lot.
Good community support then too.
It's the community's been very good to us. We also host a tournament middle of July 20, 21, 22. It generates 70 teams come in, so it generates money for the community, and that money obviously goes back in and helps reduce registration costs. Because at the end of the day, if we price this out of a player's price point, we're not doing anybody any favors.
Right. What? How old's that field out there now? That well, I still call it a new field.
North Prairie Park.
Yeah.
It's a Sarnia FC in the end zone. It's about 5 years old, 6 years old now. Another one. So I know the city is doing. Is there that much of a need for another one already? Like there's that much involvement? That field is booked constantly.
Is that right?
It's a struggle to get time. All our user groups do it. We work fairly well together. An example, Sturgeon Football. They needed a time slot for an important game. We had it, so we work with each other. You give me this, I'll give you that.
Okay.
Rugby's really good to work with too. Right? So all the user groups, we recognize it's a multi-use facility. I keep telling everybody it's a soccer field with lots of extra lines on it.
Maybe we need an indoor one.
There's a valid point. We've been looking at Germain Arena, potentially repurposing that. Right now, the city's redoing their master plan for all their fields and uses, things like that. So that's one of the things that's going to get discussed at that point. Can we repurpose Germain for an indoor facility? Do we need another turf field? Sarnia is big enough that we should have that kind of facility. Like an indoor facility is a multi-use facility.
Yeah. Well, I'm hearing from people that I know in the soccer world that they're traveling out of town to, I think I hear London sometimes to play in the indoor soccer field.
London created a BMO Center. Right? So it's an indoor facility, has 4 fields, or a full-size field that splits up into 4. They've just added 3 more little fields to it. We need something like that. It's a gorgeous one. St. Thomas just added one this year. Woodstock's got one. We're bigger than those communities, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So we just need to get some money and some organization to make it happen. Isn't that funny how that works?
A lot of people want to use it, but it's like you say, it's coming up with the money. The city's been fairly good about, can we work in partnership? So everybody's exploring all kinds of different options. It's just being able to get there.
That's good. We're just about to wrap up, so go to my next guest here. But before we go, you want to talk about the Vancouver Whitecaps? Yeah, one of the things that we did last year, we entered into a partnership with Vancouver Whitecaps of Major League Soccer. Okay. So one of the things that really helps us with is they provided us with curriculum. Okay. So the curriculum for all our development programs, or all our competitive programs, Vancouver's provided that. So what you'll see this year is our U8 coach. So if you're a U8 coach, you don't have to come up with your own practice plan. Here's your practice plan that you do week 1, week 2, week 3. So it's all laid out for them. Speaking of that, if anybody's interested in coaching, for any other volunteer sport, we can always use more coaches. They don't have to know a whole lot about it. A young player that you're talking about, high school players or high school kids for their time, we provide all the training, we provide all the curriculum. Oh, so okay. One of the things it allows us to do is it's a pathway from a U4, male or female, all the way up to the professional level already laid out. You go through this to a certain step. You move here, you move there. So it's a really good partnership. It's going to really help our players in the future. Well, that's fantastic that you have that support. Paul, I want to thank you so much for joining me here today and talking about the Sarnia Football Club, and we'll make sure that we post out. We've been sharing the website and your other Twitter links during the show, and we'll post them on our page as well after the broadcast. Thank you for having me. You're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye. Paul Burke from the Sarnia Football Club, and sounds like they got lots of things going on and some new things coming up as well. It's fantastic. You can see them and find out more by going to their website, sarniafc.ca. My next guest, I've been trying hard to get this guy in an interview, but I finally got him, and he's smiling at me now in the background. We're going to bring him on right now. Craig McKenzie, how are you, my friend?
Excellent, Dave. How you doing?
Not too bad. I'm going to turn your volume's a little low.
Okay. Now you're going to expose my lack of technical abilities here to figure this out.
No, you're good right there. Whatever you just did, don't move.
All right. I'm frozen.
That's fantastic. I'm doing great. I appreciate you being here. This conversation that we're going to have is certainly an important one. And I've been saying to people that more and more often in my conversations on the show weekly and even just out in the community, the word mental health is always, it just comes up all the time, which I guess in a way is a good thing because people are talking about it. And then I know like we just had Sarnia Sings, right? And that was about mental health and suicide prevention. No, it was fantastic. It was sold out.
That's great. Second year in a row. I think, to be honest, Dave, anything we can do to have the conversation and to kind of, all too often mental health has kind of been in the shadows and it's kind of been taboo to talk about. So I think the more we have the conversations and the more we do it in different places and not necessarily just in institutions or at meetings, but over coffee, in arenas, we're looking to have the conversation anywhere we can.
Yeah, I like that you brought that up like that because I think for the longest time it was just we talked about it in hospitals and like you say all the different agencies, and now it's been brought out to the public. There's lots of different local events that happen. Sarnia Speaks being one, and now Sarnia Sings, and Michael Landsberg coming to town is fantastic. How do we, and this being Mental Health Awareness Week, of course, why we have you here. But tell everybody, you're with St. Clair Child and Youth Services, and what's your title there?
So I'm the Director of Operations. So really, my role is looking at the transformation that's underway across the province and how we deliver mental health services is really to make sure that it translates from Toronto to what we need in Lambton County.
Right.
The whole idea with the new transformation is to make sure that that children, youth, and families are aware of the services that are available and how to get to them. That's kind of the first piece. But then the second piece is also that that youth and families truly have a voice in how we deliver services. So it's not just lip service that you know, once, twice a year, maybe we send out a survey, but really we've invited them into the organization, and there's a lot of really great things that are happening now because of that.
Yeah, that's fantastic to hear. Okay, so let's jump right in though on politics for a moment. It's an election year, and it seems like that's the time when it's usually a great time to ask for money.
You want to miss that opportunity?
Yeah. Where do you see our government in all this? I mean, you know, we've talked about, you and I have had the conversation, and I've had it with different people about our government's involvement here. And then we sort of saw some promises, and then it didn't kind of come through, but now it's election year. It seems like they're all, what do you see happening there?
Well, the good part is we're finally part of the conversation. You're hearing about mental health. So, you know, without singling out one party, all three parties do have mental health on their radar. It's on their campaign promises. And as you see there, CMHO, so Children's Mental Health Ontario, that we belong to, you know, they've reached out to each party and asked them to provide us with, you know, what their platform would look like. And all three parties have talked about a commitment to support mental health. Like, and the reality is, you know, again, without singling out one party, you know, the last 25 years, I think we've seen one inflationary investment in children's mental health services. So it's really just been over the last 25 years, the attrition of services.
Yeah.
And for us as a community organization, we rely on both the commitment from government to support our core services. And when we can't do that, it's reaching out to the community to help us with the fundraising. So it's been a real struggle as a children's mental health center, probably, you know, again, the last 25 years, but I really am hopeful. The transformation, the Liberal government in the past 4 or 5 years has really made a commitment and made mental health a priority. They're talking about mental health and addictions money at the federal level as well.
Right.
And the part I really like about it is, you know, this moving on mental health transformation really does give us in Lambton County a little more control over our mental health services to decide what the priorities should be for our kids in our community, and that's not dictated by you know, a bureaucrat in Toronto, let's say.
Right, gotcha. Well, hopefully we see some. So it's good to see though that however it came about that, like you said, it's on their radar more now, and it's really an unavoidable topic. We have a lot of agencies in Sarnia, right? That are there's just so many different aspects to mental health and suicide, but I've often heard that there's not enough, but there really is a lot of agencies out there, isn't there? Like it's just a matter of finding them, maybe.
Yeah, and I think that's sometimes the confusing piece for people. You know, the fact is, for children's mental health, we're the lead agency for Lambton County, and we work very closely with CMHA, so Canadian Mental Health Association.
Yeah.
It really were the two lead organizations to cover the age scope of children's mental health services and adult mental health services. We primarily serve kids from when they're born to 18 years of age.
Yeah.
And CMHA covers from 16 to end of life. So we've got it all covered. And what people perhaps don't see behind the curtain is there is a lot of coordination and collaboration happening.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned suicide. We have a suicide prevention committee that's very active in Lambton County. They do a lot of planning. So most organizations are part of the planning around the Suicide Prevention Committee. And we're looking at developing a protocol for Lambton County that's in the works. But even around the mental health planning, we have planning tables that look at our priorities for Lambton County. And we're pulling data from population data, as well as needs assessment and the voices of children, youth, and families, to kind of identify what those priorities are, what the gaps in the community are, and looking to address those gaps.
And what would those gaps look like?
Well, the one we've been targeting probably the last couple of years has been access. About 4 or 5 years ago, if you wanted to access children's mental health services, you would come in and have an initial appointment with us. And then sometimes you'd have to wait 4 to 10 months, perhaps, to actually get engaged in therapy. So we heard loud and clear from the community that wasn't acceptable. And as an organization, we invested a fair amount of time and resources to retrain staff and develop the walk-in clinics. So we launched probably the first walk-in clinic about 2 or 3 years ago. And now for families, there is no wait to access service, or that wait might be a week or less, depending on when the clinics are available. So we offer the walk-in clinic at St. Clair here in Point Edward on Tuesdays from 12 o'clock till 6:30 is the last appointment. And again, there's no charge for any of our services. They're all free of charge to the public. People can come in without an appointment and access the service. It's a single session of therapy, so it's a therapeutic session, and it's really about kind of what the issue is of the day. And you'll probably leave with a plan. And if you need more services or more intensive services beyond the walk-in clinic, it also acts as an intake mechanism for you. So then you would have access to other services within the organization. Or if just one is enough, then you might go away for a month or two and maybe something else pops up, then you're welcome to come back in.
Well, that's awesome.
And one of the things we've really focused on the past 2 or 3 years. And the next is probably our crisis service in the community. There's been a lot of need around looking at how we deliver crisis services.
Okay.
And about a year and a half ago, we developed a collaboration with Bluewater Health to ensure that the youth who were in need of crisis services had access to them. And we have a protocol in place where if youth are presenting at the emergency department, they would get priority access to counseling, follow-up counseling sessions here at St. Clair. So it's kind of a triage model. Some might need to come back to the walk-in clinic, but others will leave the emergency department with an appointment with a clinician within 48 hours here at the center. So they're really, for youth, there is no wait list for crisis service. If you need crisis service in Lambton County, you'll get it.
Sounds like progress, and that's awesome, especially when it's coming to this issue. Mental Health Awareness Week. So lots of things are planned for this week. I know we've got the barbecue coming up, right?
Yeah, Wednesday we have our barbecue here at the center, 129 Kendall Street. Barbecue kicks off on, so it's Wednesday the 9th at 4:30 to 6:30. So we'll be barbecuing up burgers and
nice.
Have lots of refreshments on hand. We actually got a live band that's going to be playing for everyone. So hopefully it's a nice day. And
who's the band?
For a free burger. The name of the band slips my mind, but the lead singer, one of the lead singers was our former director, executive director of the organization, David Wright.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so David's coming back to the center in a different role. We're in a different hat.
Nice. Well, St. Clair Child Youth has been around how many years now? I know it's been quite some time.
46 years.
46. It was around, yeah, wow. It was around when I was a teenager in high school, and I used the services. My family and I used the services, so it's always been close to my heart for different reasons. And it's nice to again, like I said, to hear the progress that's happening out there. What other things are going on for Mental Health Week?
Yeah, there's lots of good things going on. In fact, tonight at 6 o'clock, or 6:30, I should say, we have our Lambton Family Advisory Committee. So that's a group of family members and caregivers, parents and caregivers that have either youth who have been involved in mental health services or are currently involved in mental health services. And really, it's an opportunity for them to get together, support one another, but as well look at having an impact on the priorities around mental health services in our community and having a voice. So I'll be going to meet with that group a little later on this evening and kind of hear what they have to say around some various issues. As well, we're pretty excited to launch Parents for Children's Mental Health chapter. One of our priorities we've looked at as a community is providing more support groups for family members. So we're going to launch the Parents for Children's Mental Health chapter, Sarnia-Lambton chapter. So this Thursday night at 7 o'clock here at the St. Clair Child and Youth, we're going to be having our launch event. So that kind of covers the two things for family members and parents. But the other piece that's also just as exciting is our Voices for Youth. So that's our youth engagement strategy in giving youth a voice in our mental health services. So that's happening. They launched earlier this month, and so they meet on a monthly basis. The next meeting for that group's Wednesday, May 23rd, 6 o'clock here at St. Clair, and it's open to the public. Welcome to come if you want to be part of making a difference in mental health services in the community.
It sounds like some fantastic things going on there, and I've got your website up here as well. Seems like there's lots of different, there's tons of information out here as well, and of course you can always take on more volunteers, right?
Well, for sure, and we're always looking for volunteers, and actually right now is another opportunity. We're looking for volunteer board members. So if folks have an interest in truly being part of something special around mental health services, that's a great opportunity. Our board meets once a month. Don't meet over the summertime, but yeah, we meet once a month, and it's a great way to give back to the community. So the information's on our website there about how to apply. Perfect,
fantastic. Craig, I got to start wrapping things up. Is there anything else you want to throw in there before you go?
No, I think we're really happy to be talking about mental health, and I want to thank you, Dave, for all your work in helping us raise awareness. And just keep checking on our Facebook, Twitter, and on our website, www.stclairchild.ca.
Sounds good. I'll surprise you one day and pop in for a visit and take you out for a coffee.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, Craig. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye-bye.
All right, Craig McKenzie, once again joining us from St. Clair Child and Youth today, and they've got the barbecue going on. Who doesn't like a good barbecue? I'm in. I'm going to try to be there, and that's a great way to. You might be surprised who you see around there too. And as I mentioned, St. Clair Child and Youth Services, 46 years they've been around, a whole slew of services. And the great thing about them too is if you don't know what services are out there, just go down there and see them, and they'll help you get to it, right? Whatever struggles you might be having, they're just amazing agency and we're very fortunate to have that agency here in the Sarnia-Lambton. So I thank you, Craig McKenzie, once again for joining us. And there's the information for the barbecue. Of course, it's coming up this Wednesday, May the 9th, starts at 4:30. They're located on Kendall Street in Point Edward, and just come on out and have some fun. I'm going to be down there, so I hope you'll join us. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. For those of you watching, if you're watching this as a replay, I'd appreciate you typing the word replay in the comments below so that I know, so I know that you were watching. And Karender's asking, is hockey the same as floorball? I don't know what floorball is. Sorry, Carinder, but hockey's hockey. It's hockey. Ball hockey, I think, is what they're playing, if that's what you're talking about from 3-on-3 earlier. So, yes, earlier, my guests, Aaron Zimmer and Rob Jenkins, who joined us to talk about 3-on-3 hockey. Thanks to them for being here. If you want to find out, they're still looking for some teams. So go online and check that out, 3-on-3 hockey on Facebook. And also Paul Burke from the Sarnia Football Club, or some call it soccer. Appreciate him joining here, and they're looking for volunteers and coaches as well. Again, find them online, Sarnia Football, Sarnia FC, on Facebook. And then, of course, we were just talking to Craig McKenzie from St. Clair Child and Youth. And thanks to all of you for being here. I will be back here again next week. Already got some guests lined up. So keep an eye on our Facebook page, and we'll tell you all about it. Thanks, everybody. That's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend, and I will see you next time on the show live. Bye.